On December 7, 1941, the USS Arizona, a mighty battleship, was struck at Pearl Harbor, claiming 1,177 lives.
1,177 men died.
In a fiery tragedy that shook the nation.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
Tonight, we honor the heroes of the Arizona, the sailors and Marines whose courage and sacrifice defined that dark day. From their final moments to their enduring legacy, this is the untold story of Pearl Harbor's fallen.
People to understand that this was a living, breathing ship.
Stay with us for a journey of bravery, loss, and remembrance. The USS Arizona, a Pennsylvania-class battleship, was a symbol of American naval power. Commissioned in 1916, it stretched 608 feet, weighed 31,400 tons, and carried 12 14-inch guns capable of firing 1,400-pound shells over 20 miles. Stationed at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, it was a floating fortress, home to over 1,500 crew members. For those of you who remember the 1940s, the Arizona was a source of pride, a steel giant that stood ready to defend the Pacific. But on that fateful Sunday morning, its destiny changed forever. December 7th, 1941, began like any other day at Pearl Harbor. Sailors aboard the Arizona were raising the flag, eating breakfast, or writing letters home. At 7:55 a.m., Japanese aircraft swarmed the skies.
Then I saw one of the planes with the rising sun on it, and I said, my God, those are Japanese planes.
Launching a surprise attack that would plunge America into World War II. The Arizona, moored at Battleship Row, was a prime target. Within minutes, bombs rained down, and at 8:06 a.m., a 1,760-pound armor-piercing bomb struck near the forward turret. It ignited the ship's ammunition magazine, triggering a catastrophic explosion that tore the Arizona apart. The blast killed 1,177 of the 1,512 crew aboard, making it the deadliest loss of the attack. For those who lived through that era, you'll recall the shock of hearing Pearl Harbor bombed on the radio. The Arizona's destruction was more than a military loss. It was a personal tragedy for families across America. Men like Seaman First Class William Ball of Iowa, who manned a machine gun until the flames overtook him, or Ensign Stuart Manley, who helped crewmen escape before perishing, showed extraordinary courage. Their stories, often untold, are the heart of the Arizona's legacy. For veterans watching, these names echo the sacrifices you or your comrades made in service. Let's step into those final moments. The Japanese attack was meticulously planned, with 353 planes targeting ships, airfields, and defenses. The Arizona, docked beside the repair ship Vestal, was hit by 8 bombs. The fatal strike penetrated the deck, igniting 1 million pounds of gunpowder in the forward magazine. Survivors described a fireball that lifted the ship from the water, sending debris 500 feet into the air. Chief Petty Officer John Anderson tried to save his brother Jake, but both were lost. Rear Admiral Isaac Kidd, the Arizona's commander, remained on the bridge, directing defenses until the end. His body was never found, and his Navy Cross was awarded posthumously. The crew's heroism shone through the chaos. Pharmacist's mate Third Class William Lynch braved flames to treat the wounded, saving lives before succumbing. Machinist's mate First Class Donald Kirby manned a gun turret, firing until the ammunition ran dry. Of the 335 survivors, many swam through burning oil to reach Ford Island, their bravery etched in Navy records. For those who remember World War II newsreels, these acts of valor were the spark that rallied America, turning grief into resolve. The Arizona's sinking was a turning point. Before Pearl Harbor, America hesitated to join the war. After the attack, President Franklin Roosevelt's Day of Infamy speech galvanized the nation. For many of you, that speech, broadcast nationwide, was a call to action. Your brothers, sons, or friends enlisted, driven by the Arizona's fate. The ship's loss, alongside 2,403 total deaths at Pearl Harbor, unified the country, setting the stage for victories at Midway and Normandy. The Arizona's crew didn't just fight, they inspired a generation. The ship itself was beyond salvage. Resting in 40 feet of water, its wreckage became a tomb for over 900 sailors still entombed inside. The Navy left the Arizona where it sank, a solemn reminder of sacrifice. In 1962, the USS Arizona Memorial was dedicated, a white structure spanning the sunken hull, accessible only by boat. For those who visited Pearl Harbor, you know the silence of standing above the ship where oil still seeps to the surface, called Tears of the Arizona by survivors. It's a place of reflection, honoring men like Fireman First Class Everett Reed, whose name is etched on the memorial's wall. The Arizona's story isn't just about loss. It's about the men who served. Take the Dorie Miller story, one of the most inspiring from that day. Miller, a black mess attendant, had no combat training but manned an anti-aircraft gun, firing at Japanese planes until ordered to abandon ship. He rescued wounded sailors, including the ship's captain, earning the Navy Cross, the first African-American to receive it. For viewers who followed the civil rights era, Miller's courage was a beacon, proving valor knows no color. His name now graces another Ford-class carrier, the USS Dorie Miller, set for delivery in 2032. The Arizona's crew came from every corner of America, farmers from Nebraska, factory workers from Pennsylvania, young men from small towns and big cities. Their average age was 23, many just out of high school. They wrote letters home, played cards, and dreamed of peace. For those of you who were young in the 40s, you might see your own youth in their stories. Ordinary men called to extraordinary duty. Survivors like Donald Stratton, who escaped by climbing a rope across burning waters, later shared tales of camaraderie and loss.
Kind of interesting to see what Father Time and the Sea has done with our...
Stratton's memoir, All the Gallant Men, captures the Arizona's spirit, a must-read for history buffs. The ship's physical legacy endures. Its bell, recovered in 1942, hangs at the University of Arizona, rung annually on December 7th. Its guns, too heavy to salvage, remain underwater, but one was donated to the Phoenix Memorial. The Arizona's anchor, weighing 19,585 pounds, stands at the Wesley Bolin Plaza, a symbol of strength. For those who remember wartime scrap drives, these relics carry the weight of a nation's resolve. The memorial itself draws 1.8 million visitors yearly, a pilgrimage for those honoring the past. The Arizona's impact reached beyond 1941. Its destruction exposed vulnerabilities in U.S. naval strategy, pushing the Navy toward aircraft carriers over battleships. By 1944, carriers like the USS Enterprise, which we've covered, dominated the Pacific. For viewers who followed the war's progress, this shift was a game changer, proving the Arizona's sacrifice wasn't in vain. It taught America to adapt, ensuring victories that shaped the world you lived in. Today, the Arizona's story resonates in a world of new challenges. Our recent videos on the F-22 and B-2 shootdowns in 2025 highlight rising tensions with Russia, echoing the uncertainty of 1941. The Arizona reminds us why we prepare, why ships like the USS John F. Kennedy, launching this year, carry on the mission of deterrence. For veterans and patriots watching, The Arizona's heroes are a testament to why we honor service, from Pearl Harbor to today's Arctic patrols. The memorial's upkeep is a labor of love. The National Park Service maintains it, funded partly by donations from groups like the Arizona Memorial Foundation. Divers inspect the hull, still leaking 2 quarts of oil daily, ensuring it remains a safe shrine. For those who've stood there, you know the power of seeing names like Ensign Eldon Shields or Seaman James Ward, forever 19 or 20 etched in marble. Their sacrifice speaks to the values you've lived by: duty, honor, country. As we reflect, the Arizona's heroes live on in memory. Their courage inspired a nation to fight, to rebuild, to prevail. For those who served in World War II or Korea, or raised families in its shadow, the Arizona is personal, a reminder of friends lost, battles won, and a country that stood tall. The memorial's guest book is filled with notes from veterans, some of you perhaps writing, "Thank you for your sacrifice." This is the story of the USS Arizona's heroes, men who faced Pearl Harbor's darkest day with unwavering courage. Their legacy lives in the memorial, in the Navy's mission, and in our hearts. If you visited Pearl Harbor, served in the military, or remember that day in 1941, share your story below. What does the Arizona mean to you? Subscribe for more tales of valor, and join us next time to honor another chapter of our history. Good night.